So, how to stay with the same person the rest of your life, the easy way. Don't. What I mean by that is, I was listening to this podcast by it was Ed Milet's podcast. He had this guy named Matthew Hussey on there, and he brought up something very intriguing. And he said the one of the easiest ways to stay with the same person for the rest of your life and be happy in that relationship is you don't stay the same. You're like like for instance, we've been married for about 6.5 years now, and like I'm not married to the same person that I was 6 years ago because she's grown and I've grown. We've changed, we've developed, we've evolved over time. Yes, we have similarities to our past selves, but every year we're a new person. Like I'm 33, the 32-year-old of me is gone. Right now I'm 33. In November, when I turn 34, the 33-year-old of me will be gone. And the key is we don't want each year to repeat itself. I tell people all the time, like one of the things I love about like birthdays and stuff like that is you can kind of look back on your previous year and kind of recap stuff and see what went right, what went wrong, how you can improve and grow. But if in a relation, and I've talked a lot about personal development, but when it comes to a relationship, if both parties are consistently working on like personal growth development in some form or fashion, then it keeps things exciting. It keeps things interesting because you're not always married to the same person, which is kind of cool to think about in a way. Like you think of how many couples you've heard, they're like, man, I wish I knew what would have been with somebody else. Or they think like, oh, my spouse isn't the same person that when I married him. Good. I say good. We should all change. I don't want to be the same person at 34 than I am now at 33. That would be awful. I'm very happy right now. But I know that there's ways I can improve. I constantly looking for other ways to improve. I'm happy where I am, but not satisfied with because I know where I could be. There's a difference there. So, and I've talked about that before. But we have to continually improve and evolve, and it keeps everything interesting and fun. Like I know like we have big goals in our lives together. And because of that, it gives us something we're reaching for constantly. So we can be grateful for what we have now. We're super grateful for a lot of the things we have, but we know the potential for our future. We're not settling. I do not want each year with my wife to be the exact same as the previous year. Same for her. We're constantly growing together. That's the key. If you're not, like one of the quotes I've heard, if you're not growing, you're dying. You're just getting that much closer to the coffin. Or another one I've heard is, you already died, you just ain't buried yet. We have to continually work on our personal growth, not only ourselves, but as a couple. Find ways to get closer together, to work on each other, or work on ourselves, which will help each other. Do it for yourself and do it for your significant other. But otherwise, if you just stay the same every year, that gets boring. You want to watch the same movie? If your year was a movie, you just want to watch the same movie every year over and over? No. Get really old. Believe me, I know I have a 4-year-old. It gets really old. We watched the Iron Man and Hulk movie today for the 1,000th time. It gets really old. So do you want, like, that's why people end up upset. Like most people I've talked to, like, so every once in a while people will come to us for relationship advice because they see how happy we are. And they're like, how do you do it? And it's like, we're constantly working on improvement. Most of the people that come to me that ask me those questions, a lot of times just based on what I know about them, is they have kind of repeated the same year over and over. It gets boring. It gets dull. Mix it up. Do something different. Think outside the box. read a book, listen to a podcast, learn a new language, learn how to dance, learn, like, go do something, improve yourself. We should always try to live up to our potential, constantly being happy where we are, but also striving for more. That's the key to being with the same person for the rest of your life, is constantly changing. So it's not the same person. There's always similarities. There's always things that, like, the original things that was attracted you to them. Those things typically won't change, but there's always something new to learn on both sides.